So you're trying to get a job in these challenging times. You prepare your LinkedIn account, your best CV, and you send 1, 2, 3. You're sure in this 10th CV you will get a call. But after a couple of days, you're gonna listen to crickets. And in the best case scenario, you get a no reply email that you're a fantastic candidate, but you didn't meet the requirements for this position. And you're shocked because you don't understand. Maybe I'm a junior in the position. Maybe I have a lot of years of experience. What I'm doing wrong? My friends, I completely understand you. Over the last 2 years, I have sent over 600 CVs, over 200 cover letters, and I've learned a lot from that. This year, 2020, I have several conversations with recruiters after hours, and they revealed me many of the things that I was doing wrong, and they helped me to level up my LinkedIn account. But not only that, to build a powerful CV with keywords and key things that, hey, I never thought on them before. And some of the secrets come from people working in these organizations. But more than that, it's time to reveal you what are those secrets and help you change your destiny into a new one. Let's start. And now we're going to focus on a very important thought. First impressions matter. First impressions matter. Why this is important? Because we're always taught that we shouldn't judge a book by its cover. And this is great when you reach the interview. But before that, first impressions matter. Keep that in mind. When you enter to LinkedIn and a recruiter visits you, the first impressions is that they will check this. This is the introduction of who you are, what you're selling, why someone should hire me. But I have seen a lot of mistakes, and some of them are the ones that you can see right now. This is a profile that I used to have many years ago. Some of the mistakes. Number one, the banner. Well, I love magic. I used to dress like Harry Potter in the past, but I'm not a magician. I know one, but I'm not that person. So that banner is a little bit mischievous and a little bit confusing of why you are doing that. You should search for a banner that reflects what you're doing in LinkedIn. For example, I'm a technology consultant. This is my official banner. Bring Innovation with Federico Navarrete is really clear of what I'm doing. You can see some technologies going around, and those technologies I update them over the years. The next one, I would like that you remember these two squares that are here because they are very important. One is your education and the other is your work experience, the last company where you're working. We were going to go in that a little bit later. The next mistake. Hey, look at that picture. I look handsome, right? Yeah, I'm handsome. But there is a problem with that picture. What is the problem, man? It looks like high quality, right? Yeah, indeed it's a very high quality, but I'm not an artist. Well, I'm an author, but that's a different story. In my book, it looks amazing, but it doesn't look amazing in my LinkedIn profile. It's a little bit confusing because, yeah, I'm a tech consultant. I should wear like my suit, my something like that, my tie, something cool, but not that picture that is a little bit mischievous and a little bit confusing. Take care of what you're sharing because people will be, why? The next mistake, it happens with your names. If you're a French person or if you're someone who speaks French fluently, you will know that French people use first your surname, then a comma, then a name. And this is very, very common in France. But in the rest of the world, it's first name and second surname. And this even LinkedIn, when you are creating your account, it asks you for your name and your surname. So when you put them in reverse, it gives not exactly the best experience ever. So remember that when you're doing this. The next one happens with your titles. Yeah, I know some people that over exaggerate about the titles. And they will add so many things they are not even doing, like an AI specialist, AI genius, or things like that. to attract views, and other people will do the opposite. They will put misleading roles or very poor things that will move away the people from you. And believe me, the title is really, really, really important. If you don't have the right title, you will scare people. And trust me, the recruiters really check the titles. Going a little bit deeper, check the location. I'm living in Poland. I'm moving to Madrid. Hey, I'm saying that I'm living in El Salvador. I haven't been there in 4 years. What? I didn't even notice. Believe me, recruiters really notice it. And you appear in the views. So if you have the wrong location, it will give the wrong impression that someone is a little bit lost. The next mistake is the about. The about, you have up to 1,200 characters to sell who you are and why people should hire you. Do not write only one line sentence that says that, yeah, you like this and this and that, or write a lot of paragraphs with a lot of mistakes that are unreadable. Some tricks that I can tell you: create an elevator pitch. Build a small sentence that attracts of what kind of problems you are solving for the organizations. After that, go in depth about the services that you can offer, the results that you have had. And hey, if you have some references, point them there. Highlight why people should hire you, contact you. Be very, very clear about your services, because this is how you're going to start attracting the right people to your profile. But if your message is a little bit misleading, no one is going to call you. Write something that is attractive. And if I can give you another secret about it, if you speak multiple languages, make it really, really clear since the beginning when you're writing the about. Build a second profile in German, Chinese, French, Italian, any other language, and make it clearly visible. Because if you have a profile in different languages, people will be able to read it easier. Let's suppose that you're reading in Germany. German people what? They prefer to speak German. They do not prefer to speak English, neither Spanish, don't even think on it. So write it in German and the people will be more attracted to your profile. Think in those tricks. Now, one of my favorite parts, one that I would like that you pay attention to, is new LinkedIn highlights. This is below your about, and in this part you can highlight what you have accomplished, add some of the things that you have done in your life. Even if you have a small degree, a small thing that you have done in your life, a small accomplishment, add it there, because this is part of your introduction, and that part can shine over anything. Add those highlights so people will pay attention to your greatest gift. And now we're moving to the place where most of mistakes happen, your work experience. This is the part that is in sharing the CVs. And let's think in the things that are going wrong in my profile. This is my latest position, technology consultant or technology analyst. Something is wrong. I said technology analyst, right? And here it says technical analyst. It's even sound very strange in English. And you need to be careful about titles. Did I say before that titles are important? Believe me, they are highly important. If you have the wrong role in your organization, your profile is easily discarded by the organization. They won't even check it. And these words have been confirmed by many recruiters that I know working in these organizations. So be very, very careful, because your title in the organization is critical. Now, let's go to the next mistake. It's about my job description. How it looks? Like if I had copied something from another job offer, I took those things, I pasted them in my profile, and I didn't put any attention on it. It looks like bullet points, but without looking at real bullet points. It looks really unprofessional. professional. The other thing that is a little bit confusing is that I have been working for 5 years in the organization and I have had only one role. If I was a CEO or someone like that, it might be understandable, but I'm not that person. So it doesn't look professional. You need to be very careful. In Infosys, I have had 4 positions. I moved from an intern to a systems engineer, from a systems engineer to a senior systems engineer, and from there to a technology consultant or analyst. So I had a progression in the organization, but it's not clear and it's not visible. I don't even speak about the technologies, and I can be 100% sure that there are grammatical mistakes in what you're reading. All those things highly impact when you're selling your profile. And if you're speaking about the past, use verbs in the past tense, not in the present tense. So that's something that it often happens to, even for native speakers. Let's go in depth. So how would you look like? As I said, you should have different roles, different profiles, and something very, very, very important and critical. Focus on results. Focus on results. Do not focus on the job description. As I said before, you can copy and paste it from somewhere else. Focus on the results, because the results is what you as an individual was able to accomplish. Give numbers, give percentages, but explain the percentages, because if I don't work in your organization, I will not understand them. Focus on those results. That is what's gonna empower your profile to the next level and create clear bullet points. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For a CV, maximum 6. If there is something really, really critical, 7 is the maximum. Do not exaggerate. After that, another mistake that I have seen is someone after many years decided, I'm gonna take a break from the corporate world. I'm gonna be a corporate dropout. Yeah. Then I'm gonna go to my master's degree in China, in the United States, somewhere else, because I had enough savings or I got a scholarship. Right, you add it as a work experience. This is incorrect. I'm gonna be honest, if it's not a PhD or a postdoc, do not do it. It's not considered as a work experience and gives not exactly the best experience to the reader. The next mistake is, hey, I have a new position, and well, this is an old position in fact, but there are some interesting mistakes. The first one, the name of the company, it doesn't even appear, it doesn't have even a logo, it's very unclear. And the second one, a huge paragraph. Look at this. Who would like to read this? There are no bullet points, there are no details, there are nothing. It's really, really annoying even just to check it. Do not make these mistakes, because those things are replicated in your CV, and it gives the impression to the recruiters that you don't pay attention to details. As I said, first impressions matter, and what you're selling is you. Keep that in mind if you would like to reach the next level. The next part is related to your education. In your education, as I said, let's pick up that education from there and put it where it should be, here. So now there is a master's degree and there is a bachelor's degree. But what is missing? There is no description. Oh man, you are putting a lot of work. Yes, write what was your master thesis. Explain why did you decide to do this. Be clear. Speak about some lessons, but add those valuable things. Believe me, if you're a new person in the market, you're a newcomer, if you don't explain what was your education about, I will ignore it. If you have more than 5 years, some people might not need it, but trust me, it's very important to explain what were you doing. Because, for example, I studied computer science. As my mentee, what is the difference? My specialization was related to databases and IoT devices. My mentee's specialization is deep learning. The same university, the same degree, completely different areas of expertise. The next section are your skills. In LinkedIn, you can add up to 50, and in your profile, you generally add up to 10. In this part, you need to focus on the skills that you would like that people pay attention. And suppose you're a coder, a developer, and you work in Java, so add maybe Java, Oracle, microservices, Docker, Kubernetes. But as I said, let's suppose that you would like to become a project manager, add Scrum, project management, let's say something important like cultural intelligence or other skills that you have. Highlight them, and after that, ask some endorsements from your previous clients, your previous teammates, anyone who can give some faith about your skills and level them up so it will be very clear what you're capable of. An underrated section that I have seen in LinkedIn is that even professionals do not ask for references. Most of people who ask for references are entrepreneurs, but believe me, adding references is highly important. Request people that can give faith of you, that they can write a small references that you were a good developer, that you were a good project manager, but those ones should be clear. I have seen some people that requested some references, and yeah, they are so generic and they are very, very unclear of who you are dealing with. If they say that you are an all-man army, yeah, maybe we're not looking for those people. We live in a world that you are looking for a specialist. So it's very, very clear that you're good in that area. So ask for references and add in your about that people can check them. Trust me, you need to send many requests to get one, but to get as many as possible is highly important. And now, another part that is really interesting is the part of reskilling. Yeah, if you have taken another courses, especially all these months that you have been learning about UiPath, maybe you learn about project management, maybe you learn about new technologies, and you get some certificates, add them. Make clearly what you have learned all these months. And if you have tried or get started, start today and add those valuable insights so people can see that you're a very unique individual. But when you're adding some of these ones, hey, add descriptions, what you accomplished. It's not in all cases. When you're adding a certificate, you cannot add them, but if you have the link, add it. So it will be very clear what you have accomplished. Before going further, I would like to encourage you to subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and let's keep building this community. But now, let's recap. First impressions matter. Your introduction is highly important. Your title, your location should be updated, and be honest and clear with the audience of who you are. And add a nice about that introduce yourself, the best of you. After that, add the highlights. What you have done, what you have accomplished, maybe one article or something that you would like that people pay attention to. Next, focus on results. When you're writing your work experience, focus on results. Do not write generic things. Focus on results. After you have your education, add some descriptions, maybe what you have studied or the results of your master thesis. Next, add the best skills so people will pay attention to them. Request some references and highlight those valuable things that are unique about you. And if you're taking any reskilling course, add it as a certificate so people can check that you are that professional that they are looking for. Those are the most important things that I can believe can empower you and can help you to reach the next level. But until the next time, I encourage you to be an agent of change, and let's keep creating a better world together.